Hey guys, this is Gunther from timelapse.com, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about motion control and the tools I use today. Especially I'm going to introduce the EMotimo TB3, a very cool device I'm using since a couple of weeks now and I'm very impressed with. Maybe some words about the history. Normally when you start shooting time-lapse, the first thing you do is static shots, and after that you want to have probably a slider to be able to make horizontal movements. And in my opinion, this is the best thing to start because those slider shots are very impressive. If you want to go a little bit more advanced, you might want to get more axes to be animated. So you probably by yourself, like I did, a motorized head like this one. It's a Merlin head, normally used for astrophotography or for tracking stars and planets and so on. But you can use it for time-lapse photography as well. You can connect it with the well-known MX2 controller. And so what I did, I had a normal slider. It was controlled by the MX2, like the dynamic perception stage 0 as well, with a linear motor. And so I could control the slider with this controller here, and additionally I could control the Merlin as well with this controller. So that's what I used in Africa, for example, when I shot my film African Skies. You may probably have already watched. And the Merlin is really cool for tracking the Milky Way, for example. So you can do those shots starting at level and then going up following the Milky Way. But you have one problem with the MX2 controller. You only can set the speed of the motors. So basically you can only say, okay, travel with that speed, and it's a unit you aren't even able to comprehend. So you don't know exactly how fast these axes are going to move. And the same goes for the slider. You always have to guess how many pictures, for example, you're going to take on the way of 1 meter from the start till the end of the slider. And yeah, the problem is with those linear motors, you aren't able to control a velocity exactly, so the controller doesn't know where the position of the sled on the slider is, and he doesn't know as well exactly in which angle the camera stands. So I've been doing a little bit of research after we returned from Africa, and I stumbled around a very cool device. It's the EMotimo TB3. It came packed in this wonderful little bag, and you get everything you need when you order it, quite everything. So this is the device. It looks a bit different than the Merlin. It's a little bit smaller and a little bit lighter as well, and it's much more powerful. So let's put it on the tripod here. First thing I did is I mounted a standard camera plate with the Arca mount here, so I'm able to put the EMotimo on any of my sliders. And the same goes for the top one. This plate here is provided, so you can control the point, the balance point of the camera. You can put it back or forwards. But this mount here, it's for Arca as well. This wasn't provided. I put it on top to be able to click my camera onto. But you can as well use the provided screws here and just screw your camera on if you don't have a quick release mount. That's no problem. Okay, so let's put the camera onto. You see, this is very easy with that quick release mount. Okay, and now you have to level the EMotimo. I put myself a bubble level here on top. I hope in next versions of the EMotimo, Brian, the producer, very nice guy. I just emailed a couple of times with him. I hope he is going to provide a bubble level, because that's very crucial to put the EMotimo in level. So that's it. Let's turn it around so you can see the display a bit. Okay. As you can see, we have one motor outside. It's a stepper motor. This one is for the tilt movements, the camera. And then we have another motor inside the box. It's for the horizontal pans. So if you don't need the tilt, so if you only are doing pans, you can disconnect this motor to save a little bit of battery. Yeah, speaking of battery, you can use any 12-volt battery you have. This one is going to consume a little bit more of power than the Merlin, for example. So you will have to take care to get bigger batteries maybe. But the connection is the same as you know it from the dynamic perception stuff. It's a 12-volt barrel connector. So you just plug in your power here, and the EMotimo is on. And what you see on the display is connect joystick. So this is a joystick. It's from a game controller. It's from a Wii, I think. So to connect the joystick, you have to press the S button. It's a wireless connection. And now you can see it has already connected, and you have two options now. Pressing the C button will use the stored parameters. So if you have done a shoot and you want to repeat it, you use this. And if you click the Z button, then you're going to make a new program. Okay. So the next thing it says is move to start. And now you are able to control the head with your joystick. You can go left, you can go right, you can tilt the camera. So let's say we're going to start here. And yeah, I click C now again. And now he tells me to go to the end point. So I go to the end point. So let's assume this is the end point. Hit C again. And this next thing is set shooting interval. And now you have a couple of options. You can go low, and then you see interval is video. This will play back in a smooth motion. Or you can set for time lapse, maybe, let's say, 2 seconds. And the next thing is you can set the move duration, and that's very cool, because you can change the number of frames here, and you're going to see exactly how long the shoot will take. Or let's say 300 in this case, and this is going to take around about 10 minutes. And the next thing is a static time you can set. The EMotimo makes move, shoot, move. Static time means how long after a movement the EMotimo will wait before releasing the camera. This time is very important to allow a kind of stabilization, because this is very big unit here, and if you have a heavy camera mounted on it, it might swing a little bit. So I say put it to 0.5 seconds. Now you can even set a ramp. So if you say 30 frames will be the ramp, so it will make 30 images ramping up the speed. So you're going to start very slowly and then ramp up until it gets to the full speed, and then keeps taking your time lapse, and then ramps down again 30 frames at the end. The next thing is a static lead in and lead out. So even before the ramp begins, you can say, no, I want to have 5 or 10 or 20 or however images static without movement. This is pretty cool if you want to cross-dissolve different time-lapse sequences later, so you are not cross-dissolving between the sequences in motion. You're cross-dissolving in the beginning, where you have the static frames without motion, and the motion starts after these static frames. And now the camera is going to the starting point. You can now review your settings again. This is a little bit fast. And now I'm going to press the C button, and this is going to start my program. And currently I don't have a camera cable attached, but we can attach it just to be able to see it. So now you can see it releases, then it moves, and after moving it waits a little bit. I don't know if you're able to hear this. And the display says we are in the ramp up situation here, so the movements are getting longer, faster. Okay, while the camera is operating, I'm pretty impressed of this EMotimo, because with this device I'm able to very precisely set the beginning of my motion. I can see it in the live view or in the viewfinder. I can say, okay, I want to start here and I want to end here, and this is going to take 5 hours or whatever. And this is a huge improvement over the Merlin combined with the MX2, because that was guessing all the time. And this is very cool, and the user interface is so easy to understand. You don't even need a manual, you just start and it works. Yeah, go to emotimo.com if you're interested. I really can recommend this device. It's very slick, and it helps me making better time lapses. Okay, let's talk about some limitations or drawbacks. One thing is certainly that you have to avoid very windy conditions. Normally, if you shoot without wind, that's no problem. You set your static time long enough. It won't swing. You will have very good or perfect results. But if it's windy, the whole construction swings a little bit. It's not only the EMotimo, it's the whole combination of tripod, EMotimo, and the camera mount up here. It leads to a sort of swinging. Yes, we have to avoid very windy situations. But normally, when you shoot time lapse, you don't want those windy situations anyway. Okay. Another thing is that currently we are only able to make linear movements. So you set your starting point, you set your end point, and then the EMotimo is going to perform a linear movement to get there. We only define 2 points. We have the ramp in and the ramp out, but everything occurs on that straight line. What I would want would be a third point that I could define. So it would be very cool to be able to define a starting point, an intermediate point, and an ending point. And if the EMotimo would be able to calculate a smooth curve between these 3 points, so you would be able to perform quite every movement you want. I just talked with Brian about this, and I hope he's going to think about it in a future version. Currently, you already are able to connect the EMotimo to a computer, and using the DragonFrame software, you can program much more complex curves. But in my opinion, there are 3 things speaking against using that software. First thing is the software is pretty expensive. Second thing is I don't want to hook my notebook on the EMotimo when I'm shooting time lapse out in the field. And the third thing is battery life. My notebook probably lasts for 3 hours, and if I'm going to shoot longer time lapses, I would run into not only problems with the EMotimo power, but problems with my notebook power as well. So this is too fragile for me, so I don't want that solution. I want a solution that works only with the EMotimo. Okay, but in the speed that Brian is developing this device and the firmware, I'm pretty confident that he is going to provide us a solution for this. Yes, but all in all, this is a very, very wonderful device. I wouldn't want to miss it, and it's really, really fun working with it. So don't miss my next video, where I'm going to show you how to mount the EMotimo to the stage 1 dolly and how to be able to control the stage 1 slat with the EMotimo, all with this controller here. So that's going to be the next video. Thank you for watching. See you at the LR Timelapse forum probably. It's forum.lrtimelapse.com. And yeah, bye bye. This is a windy condition I talked about. See you. Bye.